strive to be a hero. Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. Continuing my theme for this summer, which is a salute to higher education in Louisiana, I'm wearing this Louisiana Lafayette themed Comic Hero tee, along with this Louisiana Lafayette hat. And there's also another reason why I'm doing this, but I'll just go ahead and say it now. In the wake of the shootings that happened at Grand Theater in Lafayette last Thursday, of course, everybody's heard about it. 2 women were murdered and none others were injured. You know, it's such a sad situation. I mean, it seems like even after what happened at the Aurora, Colorado movie theater 3 years ago, it seems like nothing has been done to assure the safety of folks going to see a movie. There just has to be a means to an end to this, folks. And also, I included this, the Acadiana flag. I actually know some folks from Lafayette, and I actually know of one of the 2 women who were murdered. She was one of my ex-girlfriends. She was a cousin of one of my ex-girlfriends, and so yeah. This isn't just for the 2 women who were murdered and the 9 who were injured. This is for the entire city of Lafayette. Really, no. This is for the entire state of Louisiana, because this affected everybody. It doesn't matter whether you live in Lake Charles, in New Orleans, Alexandria, Shreveport, or Marion, or Lake Providence, or even here in Monroe. It affected you. So this is for the entire state of Louisiana. All right, so I gotta ask. Any questions? All right, I have 2 questions for this week. The first question goes to Kayla Sheremy from Shreveport, Louisiana. She asks, who is the better villain? Lex Luthor versus the Justice League, or Dr. Doom versus the Fantastic Four? I like the Justice League better because of Batman. Well, Kayla, given the certain circumstances between both the Justice League and the Fantastic Four going on now, not so much. You see, Lex Luthor, believe it or not, in the comics, is now a member of the Justice League. But at the same time, if you're like me, you're probably wondering, okay, when is he going to turn heel again? I thought he was going to turn heel during the Amazo virus story arc, but apparently that didn't happen. And then I thought he was going, and and who knows, he may turn heel in this story I call the Dark Side Wars. And then with Doctor Doom, the reason why Doctor Doom isn't doing anything to the Fantastic Four mainly is because, well, there is no Fantastic Four. You see, folks, the Fantastic Four, thanks to Marvel, are no more. Doctor Doom didn't destroy them, Marvel did. And I'm going to talk, and speaking of the Fantastic Four, I'm going to talk more about them in the comically speaking segment, or in terms of them in the comic hero, in the comically speaking segment. But to answer your question, Caleb, I would have to say who would fare better? Oh, definitely Doctor Doom, because Doctor Doom has single-handedly destroyed the Fantastic Four numerous times since the team made their debut back in 1961. And he did everything from almost killed them to depowered them. Now Lex Luthor to me can't destroy the Justice League by himself for one reason. Every other member except for Superman. Because all Lex Luthor has been wanting to do to the Justice League, all he's wanting to do is just destroy Superman. I mean, he doesn't even stand a ghost of a chance against all the other members. So I would definitely have to say Doctor Doom. Okay, and this next question is from Alicia Arsenault from Memphis, Tennessee. And by the way, before I ask and answer this question, Alicia earned her master's degree from the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. And right now I don't know if she's either already earned her doctorate from the University of Memphis or she's still pursuing it. Oh, and also I was in band with her at Louisiana Tech, who I covered back in episode 68. All right, she asked, over the last few years, there's been a lot of debate over body shaming for women brought on by the stylized women in comics, and also whether or not these women superheroes need to be sexy. I was wondering where you stood on that. I feel like it's a bit one-sided because I feel like the men are not realistically represented either, and are just as open to body shaming arguments. Just curious. Well, Alicia, I feel the same way that you do. For so long, we've had characters, just about every superhero that has been in DC, Marvel, and any other publisher, they have been the perfection of, they've been the perfection of what men and women are supposed to be. Let me tell you something. I just think that's a bunch of garbage. I know folks that are like, I'm sorry, but that's not the world we live in. Not everyone is 6'6" and weighs 225 and has like 3% body fat. And I'll tell you, and then also from the women's standpoint, there are some plus size women who are a lot more attractive and a lot more physically stronger than some of these stick thin models that we have. Like for example, I once created a superhero. Yeah, I once tried my hand at creating comics not too long ago. There was a superhero that I created a while back. I'm not going to reveal what her superhero name was, but as far as her frame, she was plus sized. And the only reason that I did that was because there are plus size women in the world. Now, I always consider comics to be an ultimate version of everyday life. I just have. And but one thing that a lot of creators, and I just hope that there's some writers and artists that are watching this episode today, because they really need to hear this. But in comics, you hardly don't ever see any any plus size characters. If you do, they're recurring characters or they're supporting characters, but they're not the main characters. And I just think that's wrong. I seriously think that I think there should be characters of all sizes in comics because there are people of all sizes here in this world.
Others is comedian. It's not because they're fun. Like the big frog dude that's in Spider, you remember him? Frog dude, or like the guy that. Blob. Well, isn't that Blob?
The Blob, yeah.
He's
Well,
more serious, but he's your main one.
yeah, I mean the Blob. The Blob, for example. The Blob is the only plus-size character that I have ever heard of in Marvel. I mean, in comics. And he was a card-carrying member of the Brotherhood of Mutants, which was the arch nemesis for the X-Men. That was the only one. I think there should be more. And they don't necessarily have to be villains. I think they should be superheroes. I think they're. I mean, we just need to, as far I just think comic book creators need to stop being so discriminate in terms of it serves. I mean, because let me tell you something. Not everyone is physically fit. Not everyone. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. No, I wouldn't about it. But anyway, yeah, we just need to stop being so discriminate. Because let me tell you something. If I ever get the chance to bring back this superhero that I created, I will. And let me tell you something. There are going to be folks. My book, the way I've been writing, the way I was writing it before I decided to hang it up. I can guarantee you, if it ever gets published, folks will read it and folks will love it. So, Alicia, if you're watching this, and I'm sure you are because you're one of my biggest fans and a longtime friend. I feel the same way you do. I just think that a lot of creators need to stop being so discriminatory towards. I mean, I just think they need to be more mindful about having characters of all sizes and not just recurring characters either. Because
You know what the problem is, though?
what's that?
Is that most comic book collectors are guys. And a sexy chick sells comic books. In some ways. I mean, something that people don't care. But some people will just buy it just because there's a sexy chick on the cover. You know, so you always got that.
Well, yeah, but let me tell you something. There are some guys in this world.
Not that oversized ain't sexy, but they try to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
as cute as possible.
yeah, no, sex sells. You're right, Clint. Sex does sell,
Yeah.
but at the same time, being skinny isn't always sexy.
That's true.
Because let me tell you something. There are men like me I love women of all sizes. Just about every relationship that I was in, she was plus sized. I got a lot of criticism for it, but I don't care because this is who I am. I could care less about what anyone else thinks. And I understand sex does sell, but still. I just think that's kind of chauvinistic, though. I mean, I just think there needs to be more plus-size characters in comics because there are plus-size people in the world.
I agree.
So there's your answer, Alicia. I feel the same way that you do. All right, that's it for any questions. All right.
One thing.
Oh. Oh yes, I forgot. You know, that's been up. That's been there for 2 weeks. You know, if y'all watched episode 73, I was going. I was saying that I realized that I left that there. It's been there that was been there for about 2 weeks. Episode 72, I covered my old stomping grounds, Bossier Parish Community College in Bossier City, Louisiana, and our mascot were the Cavaliers. So I ended up bringing a toy sword with me, and I left it there. And I said in last week's episode when I covered Southeastern Louisiana University that I was going to get it. Well, I'm going to be darn sure I get it this week. All right. Now, a good friend Brian Ferguson has a DC versus Marvel request. And he has a very interesting one. On the DC side, we have the Joker. On the Marvel side, we have Gambit. These two are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call DC versus Marvel. Hulk smash! Welcome to DC versus Marvel. Today, it's the Joker versus Gambit. The Joker is a criminal mastermind, expert chemist, and utilizes weaponized props and toxins. Gambit possesses kinetic energy control and manipulation, static generation, and is a skilled card thrower. Who would win? It would start out with them throwing cards at each other. The Joker's cards wouldn't stand a chance because his cards are razor sharp as opposed to Gambit's cards charged with kinetic energy. The Joker would then grab his huge mallet and start swinging it at Gambit. Gambit, being a novice acrobat, would dodge at every swing. The Joker, feeling irritated, pulls out his gun and starts shooting at Gambit. No avail. Gambit then generates a ball of static energy and hurls it towards the Joker, knocking him to his knees. Gambit then approaches the Joker to knock him out, but the Joker squeezes the flower on his suit, releasing a skin-eating acid right at Gambit's face. The Joker then ends it by pouncing on Gambit and fatally shocking him with a hand buzzer. Joker wins. And that concludes this DC versus Marvel fight. Yeah, we all know the Joker was going to be Gambit in that one. Well, because he's the Joker and he can't be stopped. All right, I hope you enjoyed that that DC versus Marvel segment. Up next is your, mine, and everyone's favorite segment, Comically Speaking. So without further ado, let's talk comics. All right, now remember when I said that I was going to talk about Fantastic Four? Well, here's the thing. In this all different Marvel universe that's going to take flight in October. I've said it before, but there's not going to be a Fantastic Four, folks. As a matter of fact, I don't know what's going to happen with half the members, but I can tell you I don't know what's going to happen with Reed and Sue. But I can't tell you what's going to happen with Johnny and Ben. Now, Johnny, right now in the pages of Secret Wars, is not the Human Torch. Instead, he is the Human Sun. Because he is the sun. He is sadly the sun that ignites Battle World. All because he refused to serve Doom, who is considered God. Okay, but don't worry, he's not, from some of the previews of the all-new, all-different Marvel, he's not going to be the Sun any longer. He's not going to ignite Battle World any longer. He, folks, is going to be a member of the Inhumans. You heard me, folks. He's going to be a member of the Inhumans, along with Black Bolt, Medusa, and get this, the Beast is going to be a member of the Inhumans as well. Now on to everyone's favorite member of the Fantastic Four, the lovable, blue-eyed Thing, Benjamin J. Grimm. The Thing is going to be a member of Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, if you're thinking, wait, what? Guardians. Well, if you're like me, you're brought. Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's how the lineup of Guardians is going to. The new lineup. Kitty Pryde. Yeah, Kitty Pryde is going to be a member of the Guardians. Groot, Rocket, Drax, Venom, and the Thing. That's your new lineup for Guardians of the Galaxy. And guess who's going to be leading the team? Rocket. Rocket, don't call me a raccoon. Raccoon. And you know, I'm a little intrigued how this lineup is going to turn out. Now you're probably thinking, what happened to Star-Lord? Oh, don't worry, Star-Lord's going to be okay. He's just going to have his own book, and he's going to be an astronaut. Yeah, I said astronaut, and I didn't use a pseudonym for another word that starts with the letters AS. Although in a way he can be that too, but he is going to be an astronaut. And there's a lot of other things that are going on with the all different Marvel universe. For starters, there's going to be 2 Spider-Men instead of 1. There's going to be Peter Parker, who's going to have his own book called The Amazing Spider-Man, and there's going to be everyone's other favorite Spider-Man, Miles Morales, who's going to have his own book called just Spider-Man. And Parker is going to serve as a mentor for Miles Morales. You know, I've talked about this before, and then there's some other books that are coming out that. Oh, and there's the new Spider-Girl book that Jessica Drew's still going to be Spider-Woman. All this difference is she's going to be a mom, and then Spider-Gwen. Gwen Stacy's going to be the other Spider-Woman. And there's going to be a Spider-Verse book that's going to star some of the characters from the Spider-Verse story arc that took place in The Amazing Spider-Man, and in the miniseries within the Secret Wars miniseries called Spider-Verse. It's going to star Gwen Stacy, Spider-Ham, the Spider-Man who's a member of the Captain Britain Corps, and then Aranya, aka Spider-Girl, and then the Spider-Man Noir. I could just go on and on about some of these books that are coming out. But I don't know how it's going to really fare. It may work, then again it might not. We'll see. Alright, that's it for Comically Speaking. Oh, by the way, if you have any questions for the Any Questions segment, any DC versus Marvel request, any topic you want me to talk about in the Comically Speaking segment, contact info is down there. Or if you have my cell phone number, you can go ahead and call me or text me or let me know. Oh, by the way, I do not give my cell phone number out on this show. Just saying. Alright, that's it for Comically Speaking. Now then, let's get to the comics I bought this week. Comic books I bought this week. Alright, first up is Superman number 42. This is part of the Justice story arc that's actually going on in some of the Superman related books, like this one, Action Comics, Superman, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and even in a page of Martian Manhunter. And I tell you, Jing Yang has not disappointed since taking over this book last month. And as you can see, this is a Teen Titans Go variant cover, and this one, it looks like Superman's trying to decide on which costume to wear. This is like some of the costumes that he's worn over the years. I think he should wear any one except for the electric Superman one. Didn't like that Superman growing up. All right, up next is Deadpool Secret Wars number 3. Now this one is a miniseries within the Secret Wars miniseries, and it kind of talks about like the first Secret Wars that took place back in 1984, which was And get this, everyone in the Marvel Universe has forgotten about that. Except Deadpool. And this is the... Yeah, go ahead, Shane, I'm sorry. This is a continuation of that, and so far it's a great read, and I can't wait to read this one. Up next is X-Men 92, number 2. Oh, by the way, folks, before I describe this one, I have a confession to make. Last Saturday, right after I got off work, and I don't know why I didn't do a Comic Hero special report of this, but I went to Books A Million because there was an issue of X-Men #1 that I saw in there a few days before, and I said that, you know, if I had the time, I was going to go back and buy it, and I did. And so with that book being bought, the total number of comics since December of '97 now stands at 6,895. All right, now getting back to the comics I bought this week. With that being said, up next is X-Men 92 number 2. Now I haven't gotten started with X-Men 92 number 1, but this, just like Deadpool Secret Wars, is a miniseries within the Secret Wars miniseries. Let me tell you something. All these miniseries have been great, and they've really served as a whole bunch of cutting room floors for the Secret Wars miniseries. And also, it also pretty much lets us know what could happen after Secret Wars in the all new, all different Marvel universe. Oh, and you know, it has Gambit on here for all my folks who are diehard Gambit fans. I'm sorry that Gambit lost to Joker in this week's DC versus Marvel. But it doesn't matter whether you're just a metahuman or have regular powers or a mutant or anything. You can't stop the Joker. You just can't. You can't fight crazy. Crazy wins every time. But anyway, as soon as I get started with X-Men 92, I'll let you know what happens in a future episode. All right, next is Thor's number 2. Now, this too is also a miniseries to the Secret Wars miniseries, and and this one, the reason why it's called Thor's is because in Battle World there is more than one Thor. Everyone's a Thor. Odin's a Thor. Beta Ray Bill's a Thor. Kit from Captain Marvel is a Thor. And what happens in the first issue? A Thor dies. Now I know you're thinking, how can you kill a god? You'd be surprised. Up next is Flash Annual number 4. Now this is a continuation from Flash number 42. Oh, and number 41, by the way, Barry Allen's father does the unthinkable. He rounds up some metahumans who are in Iron Heights with him, and they break out of prison. And then the Flash finally meets up with Professor Zoom. And this is a continuation from number 42, and I can't wait to read this either. All right, up next is Batgirl Annual number 3. Now, Batgirl is still trying to find her place, with this, in the world with the new, this new Batman going around. All it is Jim Gordon inside some cybernetic suit. Oh, and in an early issue of Batgirl, at the very end of it, Jim Gordon tries to arrest Batman. Now you're probably thinking, why in the world would he do that? Because Jim Gordon blames Batgirl for the death of his son, James Gordon Jr., which really wasn't his fault. It wasn't her fault. It was actually James's fault because he practically committed suicide. All right, and speaking of Batgirl, up next is Batgirl number 42. Now, in this one she goes up against Livewire. Now, a lot of folks are thinking, who's Livewire? Well, Livewire was actually a character who was created for an episode of Superman the Animated Series. I mean, now, for those of y'all who don't remember, Livewire's real name is Leslie Willis, and she was a shock jock at a radio station in Metropolis. And so one day she ended up getting these weird electric powers after being electrocuted. And now now the new 52 version of her is going up against Batgirl. All right, up next is Aquaman number 42, and this also is a Teen Titans Go cover. And in the last issue, Aquaman ends up getting infected with some kind of toxin, and over time it impairs his judgment, and then it fast forwards to probably like a few months earlier, or to a few months later, and he ends up in St. Louis of all places, and he tries to save everyone in St. Louis. Now you're probably thinking, how in the world did he end up in St. Louis? Why is he not in Amnesty Bay, Massachusetts, or anywhere off the Atlantic coast? Beats me. And then finally, Star Wars number 7. Now I'm still a little behind on Star Wars. I've yet to catch up, but I'll let you know what happens in a future issue. But let me tell you, but one thing about this book though, John Cassidy, or Jason Aaron and John Cassidy deliver on this book. Like, I can't begin to tell you what great work they're doing on it thus far. All right, that's not a bought, and along with the issue of X-Men 92 number 1 that I bought over at Books A Million on Saturday, that brings my total number of comics since December of '97 to 6,904. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and next week, as a part of my Salute to Higher Education Louisiana, I'll be covering Centenary College of Louisiana, and that'll be episode 75. I just want to go ahead and say this, but you know, the whole thing last Thursday at Grand Theater in Lafayette, you know, with the 2 women being murdered and the you know, the 9 others being injured. I mean, it's such a sad. It's just a sad thing, you know. We shouldn't have to be afraid to go into movie theaters. I mean, this has made me, even though I went to see a movie since then, it still makes me a little afraid to go to movie theaters. And you know, something just has to be done with it, and I hope something will. And I want to go ahead and say this because this has been weighing on my mind for the past few days. But if you have something against somebody, even if it's been years or decades or anything like that, I think you need to make peace with that person. Now, you're probably thinking, well, I don't know. Well, no, I'm not going to do that. You don't know what they did to me and all. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. I don't care what anybody says. You can't tell me that there is not that you can't tell me, because there is not that much hate in this world. You know, a DJ that I know of got from Shreveport named J.J. O'Brien said it best when he said, if we go on judging one another, we're never going to have time to love one another. And that's true. We come together we need to come together, folks. Because life's too short to be holding grudges against folks and saying, well, because let me tell you, don't ever use the word never. Because don't ever say you're never going to do something, because you need to live your life like it's every day that you live like it's the only day you have. Because life's too short. And it's definitely too short to be holding grudges against folks. And let me tell you something. These 2 women, it's sad because these 2 women did not know that they were going to go in a movie theater and not come out alive. These 9 other people did not know that they were going to go in a movie theater and get shot. and had to go to the hospital. They didn't know. So sometimes you just don't know, folks. I mean, you can be here today and gone today. Now you're probably thinking, oh, well, whatever, I'm never going to forgive them. Don't think like that. You can't possibly tell me that you're going to go forever without talking to someone. Like I said, we need to come together. Okay, that's all I'm going to talk about with that. I'm going to let that go. But anyway, t-shirts. I also make t-shirts for other folks, and I do, and I will. And for adults, they're $12, and for children, they're $5. Now, if you have a child who's an infant, and you want me to make a onesie for them, as a matter of fact, I'm making a onesie for two of my biggest fans who also went to college with the Bossier Parish Community College, Catherine and Eric Evans. I'm making one for their 6-month-old daughter, Melody. So it's $3 for infants. If you're less than a year old, it's $3. And also, you know what? I can also make polos. For adults, they're $15, and for children they're $10. And as I said before, if you want me to make a T-shirt, you can either message me down below. You know, give me your information, like what size shirt you want, how you want your shirt made, what color, and all that. And I'll do the rest. And also for other folks that are watching this who are watching this on YouTube or anything like that, contact info is down there. Just let me know. Or if you message me right down below on YouTube, I'll get to that too. All right, I'm Victor Noley. I'm the Comic Hero. I'm about to go ahead and pay for these books. I'll see y'all next week for episode 75, where I'll be covering Centenary College in Louisiana, right back here at Clint's Comics. And just think about what I just said about forgiving others, because, you know, like I said, life's too short. You don't know when you're gonna go. Okay, till then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero. Go Cajuns. Go Cajuns, my fault. Thanks for watching. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. You know what? You know what? I need to start back going up to the counter. Start back going to the counter. I'm sorry. Blooper reel.